Things got complicated with Prince's absolutely humongous net worth after he tragically passed in 2016. During his incredible life, the talented performer, often cited as one of the greatest musicians of his generation, released many popular songs and had a great impact on many. This is evident in the fact that he inspired classic Disney characters, and people continue to look back fondly on his legacy. More than a decade after Prince originally recorded it, and 5 years after the iconic artist's death, the highly anticipated studio album Welcome to America is set to be released on July 30th by Prince's estate, which is engaged in a dispute with the Internal Revenue Service over tax assessments. When Prince died, he left music for the next generation to enjoy. Additionally, the popular singer had a sizable net worth by the time he took his last breath. After 6 years of legal quarrels, all parties have agreed on a value for legendary singer Prince's estate. Key facts. The estate describes the album's 12 tracks, recorded in 2010, as documenting Prince's concerns, hopes and visions for a shifting society, presciently foreshadowing an era of political division, disinformation and a renewed fight for racial justice. The title track was released on streaming platforms Thursday, including Apple Music and Spotify. The deluxe edition, to be released this summer, will include the entire album and a Blu-ray of a Prince concert at the LA Forum in 2011. Morris Hayes, Prince's longtime keyboardist, told that Prince cut the album before his 2010 Welcome to America tour, but never explained why he chose not to perform any of its songs. Crucial quote: "The world is fraught with misinformation. George Orwell's vision of the future is here. We need to remain steadfast in faith in the trying times ahead," Prince told Ebony magazine in a 2010 interview around the time he was recording Welcome to America. The will. If Prince ever created a will, he hid it so well that nobody has been able to find it. His sister, Tyka Nelson, asked Carver County Judge Kevin Eade to appoint Bremer Trust, a financial company that Prince used before his death, to handle all of the musician's post-mortem business affairs. Barring an unexpected discovery, we'll never know why Prince didn't draft a will or even a plan for anyone to care for him if he somehow became incapacitated. That's difficult to fathom, given how litigious Prince was in his lifetime. See the lawsuits he filed against fans who shared bootleg recordings of his concerts, or the infamous period when he identified himself with an unpronounceable symbol because of a legal row with Warner Brothers. According to The Hollywood Reporter, one of Prince's former lawyers said the star changed attorneys like underwear. As of January 2017, a Minneapolis judge appointed another financial company, Comerica Bank and Trust N.A., to be the permanent corporate administrator over Prince's estate, rejecting both CNN's Van Jones and entertainment lawyer L. Londell McMillan's bids to serve as co-personal representatives for Prince's estate. In April, Comerica named Spotify executive Troy Carter, who used to manage Lady Gaga, an entertainment advisor on Prince's estate, joining McMillan and Charles Koppelman in that role. The Internal Revenue Service and the estate's administrator, Comerica Bank and Trust, have agreed to a value of $156.4 million, a figure that the heirs to the estate also have accepted. The final valuation exceeds the $82.3 million valuation initially submitted by Comerica. The IRS determined earlier this year that executives of the pop icon's estate undervalued it by 50%, estimating $163.2 million instead in court filings. Prince died in April 2016 of an accidental fentanyl overdose at his Paisley Park home in Minnesota at age 57. He did not have a will, leaving his sister Tyka Nelson and 5 other half-siblings claims over his estate. Unfortunately, it's all too common for large-scale lawsuits and lots of conspiracies to occur when someone leaves a large amount of money. Why it wasn't clear who would get Prince's money when he died. During Prince's life, the singer was romantically linked to an extremely long list of women, including Carmen Electra, Kim Basinger, Susanna Hoffs, Vanity, Sheila E., and Sherilyn Fenn. On top of that, Prince was married twice to Mayte Garcia in 1996 and Manuela Testolini in 2001. Sadly, however, neither of those marriages lasted, so he didn't have a wife to inherit his estate upon his passing. These days, it seems like all celebrities are outspoken about every aspect of their private lives. Prince, on the other hand, often wrote songs about intimacy, but when it came to his personal life, the singer was notoriously private. To prove that fact, just look at the fact that many Prince fans don't realize that he was a father. After Prince and Mayte Garcia married in February 1996, she gave birth to a son, Amir Nelson, later that same year. Unfortunately, Prince's son was born with a rare genetic condition called Pfeiffer syndrome. A week after the birth of the Prince's son, Amir died. Since Prince had no wife or surviving children, many observers didn't know what would happen to the famous singer's fortune if he died. Aside from fans not knowing what would happen, Prince's loved ones were also unsure for years as the legal battle continued. Who inherited Prince's estate? Prince died in 2016, but it wasn't until 2022 that a final decision was made on who would receive the late singer's estate. Banks and the IRS have agreed that the singer's fortune is valued at a truly impressive $156.4 million. The singer had no will when he died. Under Minnesota law, this meant that his property would pass to his spouse, children, or parents, but since Prince's mother and father had predeceased him, none of that applied. As a result, Prince's fortune was left to his brother. In addition to Prince's sister, Tyka Nelson, the singer had several half-brothers, all of whom had equal rights to his estate. After Prince's death, independent music publisher Primary Wave approached the singer's brother to buy a stake in the singer's fortune. According to Rolling Stone, the company became successful when they purchased 90% of Prince's estate from Prince's sister Tyka and his half-brothers Alfred Jackson and Omar Baker. Primary Wave struck a deal with Prince's three brothers, resulting in the company becoming co-owners of Prince's famous Paisley Park estate. In addition, Primary Wave receives a portion of royalties from Prince's music masters. Prince has released a slew of highly popular music, including a masterpiece album, and his estate will continue to be highly profitable for years to come. Even though Primary Wave was able to buy a large portion of Prince's estate, several of his siblings retained their stake. Ultimately, Primary Wave now owns almost half of the legendary musician's estate. Three of Prince's older siblings own a sixth of the singer's estate. Finally, Prince's sister Tyka owns just over 1.65% of her brother's estate, since she only sold 90% of her original stake. Assuming that Prince's estate truly is worth $156.4 million as reported, that means the singer's siblings who didn't sell have a stake in his estate that's worth roughly $26 million. Prince's sister Tyka's stake in his estate is worth roughly $2.6 million. Finally, Primary Wave's stake in Prince's estate is valued at roughly $75.6 million. The future. So far, Tyka Nelson and the other known heirs seem lucky to have Judge Eade presiding over the mess, but they'll have to wait out expert assessments of his physical and intellectual property and an IRS fight in what could very well be a years-long process. Once all that is settled, there's still the possibility that the family could sue the parties who helped Prince obtain the opioids that killed him for wrongful death, or sue each other for larger shares of his estate. They'll likely want to get it over with as soon as possible, because their legal bills have already crossed $2 million. In September alone, 2 lawsuits were filed against the estate, one asking for $56,000 and the other for $350,000, regarding parties scheduled to take place at Paisley Park that were cancelled after his death. Aside from opening the Paisley Museum, the family has another huge event to look forward to. On October 13th, they're throwing a huge tribute concert at Minneapolis' US Bank Stadium. Performers include Stevie Wonder, Christina Aguilera, Chaka Khan, Morris Day, and The Time, and Prince's old backing band, the New Power Generation. It'll be a nice way to honor the man and a nice payday for his family. That's all in today's video. Do subscribe and share the video if you liked it, and keep coming back for more information about various celebrities in our other videos.